Hi everyone and welcome to my first Q&A video. Actually I asked you to send me questions via Instagram a few months ago and I finally got around to replying to them. Mostly because I didn't have good lighting and yeah, I think I finally found the solution to that. So let's start off with the questions. So I think this one is the most popular one because I got asked about this on YouTube as well, by Victoria Plomadiale. Scusa se rispondo in inglese. So how did you end up at KSA? Okay. So this is kind of a long story, but back in 2015, I made the Moldovan national team that went to this international science contest called IJSO, which stands for International Junior Science Olympiad. Yeah, I still remember that. Oh my god, it feels like forever ago, honestly. And yeah, and it was held in Daegu in Taehanming in South Korea, and yeah, and on one of the days we had this like program where we visited a university, I forgot what it's called, and like representatives from KSA came and talked to us about the school, blah blah blah, and mentioned that they have an international students program. And at first I wasn't really like that excited about it, but so back then I was in ninth grade, which is the last year of middle school in Moldova, and so I was eligible to apply. The application deadline was, I think, like early August 2016. So I got my middle school leaving certificate, everything, and yeah, and it was actually not that difficult. The reason I applied, well, to be honest, I think I was just bored in Moldova. And yeah, I know this is kind of like a very weird thing to say, but it's kind of true. Like I wasn't specifically aiming to go there or go to Korea. What is true though is that I was really impressed by Korea, and when I came back home after the Olympiad, I started learning Korean here in Moldova, and yeah, so I got this opportunity, and I should probably also mention that tuition and board are free. I mean, room and board. So basically, like, yeah, it was like an easy choice to make, I guess. Like, if I get accepted, which is probably the most difficult part, because KSA is like a special school in Korea, and I don't mean to brag, but like, it literally has a special status in Korea, and it's like Korean students, if they get accepted to KSA, they don't have to take the Suneng, which is the Korean National School Leaving Exam in 12th grade. So the competition is really tough for them. For international students, they just mostly aim for like 15 people, and I guess they just get like the people that scored the highest on the math test. Yeah, and I was one of those people. They gotta check in with the queen. And yeah, so I just got my acceptance letter, and I was like, oh my god, like I told my mom, I am going to Korea, like this is actually happening. Uh, yeah, it was, I really didn't even know that much about KSA, to be honest, like, which is probably the reason I kind of got disappointed after I actually, enrolled. But yeah, so that is basically the short story. I mean, okay, it's not that short, but you got the point. Like, I went to Korea, like, school officials told us about the school, and I applied and I got in. It's honestly not that difficult, and probably not that special. I don't know if yeah, one of my classmates, his name is Brian, he's from Indonesia. He also went to the same Olympiad with me. Obviously, it's actually kind of funny how life works and like how small this world is, because apparently I was classmates with like 3 more people that went to IJSO, and like including my roommate Mincho, and yeah, Brian, and also in the following year there was another person. But yeah, I found out about that obviously only after I came to Korea. Okay, so let's see. Let's continue on the same topic here, and I'm gonna answer some more Victoria's questions. So why I chose to study in Korea. As mentioned before, like I didn't actually actively like manifest myself studying in Korea. I didn't want it that bad. It was a nice opportunity and I took it because why not? Like that's kind of my personality. I went with the flow. Like it didn't, one of my favorite proverbs is попытка не пытка in Russian, which it doesn't hurt to try. Yeah, that's how you translate it. And that's what I did. Yeah. The next question was, do I speak Korean? And yes, I, I'm supposed to be able to speak Korean. Frankly, I'm not that good, and to be honest, like neither are most of my classmates. But like I guess I'm kind of good with languages. That's why I got like good grades, and we have to take the TOPIK test to graduate from KSA. TOPIK is kind of like a Korean TOEFL. I think that's what it stands for, like tests of proficiency in Korean. Yeah, and so we're supposed to get TOPIK 2, which is like 2 out of 6. It's like I think A1 or A2. Yeah, probably like A2, B1 in like the European reference levels, whatever. So I guess I can kind of understand like basic things, and like yeah, it's kind of difficult for me to understand news or literature, and speaking is very difficult. Writing is much easier. Yeah, but I think the hardest thing about Korean is probably just kind of making your mind work in a Korean way, because I think the most common mistake all of us international students did was we were saying something and it was correct grammatically, but it's kind of like it didn't sound natural. Yeah, and okay, she also asked me to like elaborate on other things that happened to me during my time in Korea, but that's a good idea for our next video. And also a video about me exposing all the negative parts about, living in Korea and KSA specifically. Okay, then let's move on to some more basic questions. So Safina asked, какого цвета у тебя любимые носки? Which, okay, like I will probably put English subs there. Thank you, future Bogdan. So I think I actually don't like wearing socks. Oh my god, this is kind of related to my life in Korea, because according to Korean traditions, like you're supposed to wear socks in formal situations, but I guess, okay, that's kind of true for Europe as well, but like in general, you should wear socks, but I am not a very big fan of socks. Another thing that popped into my head right now is, my friend Munisa, she likes to wear like tops that show her shoulders, and it's also considered like not acceptable for school in Korea. But anyway, I think my favorite sock color is white. I guess I'm basic. Okay, next question is, what's your favorite artist? I don't actually think I have a favorite artist, but if I were to choose like a specific person whose music I listen to a lot, no, I mean like whose discography as a whole appeals to me, not just some particular songs or albums, that would probably be Marina. Marina, who used to have the diamonds. Okay, and how do I cope with quarantine? Honestly, I've been losing my mind. So I don't know if I'm coping that well. I try to work out and I try to Mm, I cooked pasta once. I go, okay, no, okay, so basically in Moldova, the restrictions weren't that bad. So sometimes I used to go out. Um, but like I did stay in for like 2 weeks straight when it was first announced. And yeah, it was, those 2 weeks were kind of okay because, you know, it was still the beginning. Like now, I think the quarantine is like such a weird period in my life because it feels like 2 months or what is it, almost 3 months just passed by like that, and I didn't do anything. Okay, I did do some productive things, but you know, dream country to live in. Good question. The answer is I don't know. Like, um, I mentioned once on my Instagram that I would probably like to live in North America, so either Canada or the US. But yeah, you know what the situation in America is right now. Um, I don't think I would be able to live in Western Europe just because, like, I'm sorry, I don't mean to be offensive or rude, but like, the culture does not align with my culture, basically. Um, that is to say that I do think it's great and everything, but I just, like, I don't see the point in me moving there and like speaking another language besides English or some language that I already know or I'm native in. so if so, I guess I would either live somewhere in Eastern or Central Europe or North America, and only time will tell. Okay, the last question is, окей, как дела? Куда хочешь поступать? Вернешься ли в Корею? Okay. I am doing okay, I guess. Which is a very cliche answer. But you know, if you're close to me, I will elaborate on that. But I'm sorry, I just don't feel like sharing that much. Куда хочешь поступать? Okay, so I am actually going to the US for college, and you will I will probably, I just want to make an announcement through an Instagram post once I get all the merch that I need to make something cool and like, oh my God, he's going there. Some of my friends already know, and yeah, so stay tuned for that. And will I come back to Korea? Of course I will, as a tourist, not as a student or to work there, most likely. Yeah, I really don't like. I think Korea is a great experience if you're a tourist, much less so if you actually want to live there as a foreigner. I think this is an experience that almost all the people that I've met in Korea can relate to, and yeah, maybe I'll come next winter. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, that's it for the questions, and if you wanna ask more, then go ahead. Like, I'm very open and friendly. You know, just don't ask any not safe for work questions. Yeah, and thanks for watching. Um, Damn, it's kind of awkward to be looking at yourself.